saints, soldiers, and citizens of heaven. I figured I would do a Mother's Day video before all the other preachers in the country stole my thunder. LOL. It's not my thunder. I'm not smart. I just try to listen to what God tells me, and then I try to get it right. I mess up a lot. Anyhow, Mother's Day. I'm going to use a lady by the name of Regina as an example. Not sure she would object, so let me ask her. Miss Regina, do you object? I didn't hear anything. Well, I got to be honest with you. Part of the reason why I didn't hear anything is because I live in South Carolina and she lives in Georgia. And I didn't say it loud enough for her to hear me. I didn't call her on the phone, so. But still, I didn't hear anything, so I guess there's no objection. A mother is somebody that will go through anything for their children. There's a difference between a mom and a mother. Any woman can lay down and, well, conceive and be a mom. Just like any man can lay down and be a dad. It takes a special breed to be a mother or a father. I have another example as well. My daughter, Jessie. Both of these ladies are similar. They walk through the fire. Now you take, for instance, in the wilderness, you don't want to mess with a baby bear. That mother, whew, yeah. And it doesn't matter what she is fighting. And normally, even if it's something that can whip her, it don't mess with the mother's baby. That mother would tear it to pieces. Now, we talk a little bit about how in the Bible it says that a woman is supposed to be submissive. And it does say that. There are very few women who nowadays do what Miss Regina does. She not only takes care of her household, but she does a tremendous amount of videos for God. I don't know where in the world she finds the time, because I've never responded to her that she didn't give me a response back. And I use speech to text, so sometimes I get a little bit long-winded. She still finds time to read that, respond, read the Bible, do her daily work, and homeschool her son. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Nathaniel. Buddy, you got a mom there. You got a mother there. I think just like my baby girl, they are mixed with Superman and Wonder Woman. Now, Miss Regina, by the way, has diabetes. So she don't always feel good. But she still takes care of her children, her husband, her family. She's a godly woman. She still reads her Bible. She still prays. The woman actually humbles me. I'm a man and I'm supposed to be the beast of the field. Well, if I don't get my full, I'll say 8 hours. If I don't get my full 8 hours of sleep, or 12, whichever the case is, I get kind of grumpy. Don't nobody want to be around me, even me. My baby has 5 children. And she has a job at night. Sometimes she doesn't get any sleep. I don't see how. When you look at women like this and you think that the man is supposed to be stronger, well, maybe physically. Some are mentally. I know women that are more intelligent than men. I also know men who are more intelligent than women. It's not a battle. I'll say it like this. A man, when God put him to sleep to form the woman, he took out a rib. He didn't take out a foot bone. A man is not supposed to dominate a woman. He's not supposed to walk all over her. A woman came from the rib of a man. She's supposed to be by his side. That's where a rib goes, you know, in the side. An equal. Maybe not equal in strength, physically. But nonetheless, a real mother takes care of her children, no matter how she feels, no matter what she's been through that day, no matter of anything. My mom, for instance, she was in the Army. Yeah. She memorized the eye chart because her eyes were too bad to get in the Army. That's how bad she wanted to serve her country. She got kicked out because they were marching one day and she didn't have on her glasses, and she didn't hear the drill sergeant when the sergeant said stop, and she run right smack into the girl in front of her. I've seen my mom, because my dad drank, I've seen my mom hide us behind herself when my dad was drunk and wanted to whip us, and my mom wouldn't let him, so he whipped her instead and she took it. I seen my dad hit my mom between the eyes, and she wore glasses and blood went everywhere. And after she cleaned herself up, she went back in there and finished cooking for us. That's a mom. Now, my mom didn't raise me up religious, but she believed in God. I had one place that I could go by myself as a little kid, a little 6 or 7 year old. There was a church about 2 blocks from the house, and I was allowed to walk to that church Sunday morning and go to church. Well, I liked going because I was a weird little kid. I liked dressing up in suits. See, I always liked girls, and I thought girls liked boys that wore suits. My mom said I used to get out there, and when I was in diapers even, and walk the high school girls the length of our yard, because the sidewalk run right in front of our yard, walk them down until our yard stopped. I wasn't allowed to go any further, and I knew that if I did, my mom would have something to say about it, and she wouldn't say it with her mouth, she'd say it with her hand. Boy, that thing hurt. But it taught me a lesson, and I wouldn't go in the road either. My mom told me not to, and I knew when my mom told me no, that meant no. At times, we'd be over at our friends', our mom and daddy's friends, and we'd get a little rambunctious, and my mom would look at me and say, "You're gonna get it." Now, when daddy said I was gonna get it, I could get by with that sometimes. But my mom, brother, if she ever told you you was gonna get it, you was gonna get it. It might be 2 weeks later, but she would remind you of what you had done while she was warming the seat of your pants. Things aren't like they used to be, though. Me and my brother at one time were in a store, and we was running back and forth through the clothes, and our mom told us to stop it. Well, we thought we was tough, so we kept doing what we wanted to do. Well, Mom proceeded to show us 5 reasons, all 5 of them at the end of her hand, why we should do what she said. This other lady in there tried to stop her. Yeah, wrong woman to mess with. She said, "That's child abuse." My mom turned and looked at her, and she said, "Do you want some?" "Yeah, buddy, I had a mother." My mom is going home to glory now. My father, too. They both got saved. My dad, though, when he was a child, my aunt told me that he would get on his knees and pray until when he got up, the knees of his breeches were wet with sweat. That's a father, but we'll save that story for Father's Day. See, a mom, a mother, is to be submitted to her husband. And like Voddie Baucham says, that doesn't mean a man is supposed to demand a woman obey him. No, she does it because of God, because of what God says. A mother has got an equally high responsibility. See, a man is called to be a preacher. Well, nowadays, men aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, ladies like Miss Regina, besides the rest of the stuff that she's doing, she teaches her children what they're supposed to know about the Bible. The Bible says that a man is supposed to be a leader, but if a man is not going to take his position, God will fill the space. When Jesus was coming into town, all those people were shouting and praising him and throwing palm trees down in front of him. And the Pharisees said, tell them to stop. And Jesus said, if these stop, then the rocks will cry out. Well, that's the time it is now. The rocks are having to cry out because a man won't stand up and be a man like he's supposed to. So, ladies like Miss Regina are having to take both roles. And boy, I want to tell you what, that woman right there, I would be scared to be her husband. If you do something wrong to her, you're guaranteed to face God. So to all those mothers out there, I want to tell you something. Happy Mother's Day. To all those kids out there that have mothers, go give your mom some love. If you're grown, give them a call. Because you know they're still praying for you. Happy Mother's Day. Love you guys.